am from Canton, North Carolina. I got interested in jewelry probably, I mean, as a child, I was always like doing crafty things with my mom and my grandma and my aunt. We did sewing projects and we did, all the things. And then in high school, I did some beading and did some, taking apart of watch parts and pieces and kind of stringing those on some things, and realized that my friends wanted to buy those things. So this was in high school, like ninth grade, and I realized that I could sell some of this stuff and make a little bit of extra money. And so I started doing that. I started, beading things, and I started taking apart watches, and you know, um, and so then my dad, who's actually he was the blacksmith instructor at Haywood Community College, um, he, came to me and said, I really think that you need to take the jewelry program. And I had already taken the horticulture program at Haywood Community College. So I took 2 years of horticulture and graduated with an associate degree. And then my dad said, you really need to take this program. But of course, when your parents tell you something, you don't really listen as much as you should, I guess. But I just applied for the program. I took his advice. I applied for the program and got in, which was super crazy because it's actually, usually you have to wait a little bit to get in. And so I was able to get in that semester. So I graduated from horticulture and then immediately got into the jewelry program that next fall semester. So and from the first day, just fell in love. I actually don't wear a lot of jewelry, which is really funny because I am a jeweler. But even growing up, I grew up with three brothers, and so my mom, she was always working in the field. She was not one for fancy things or jewelry. She had a pair of diamond earrings that my dad had given her when they got married, and that was about the only thing she wore, or still wears. I guess just growing up, I didn't really have, I didn't wear a ton of jewelry, and so I have this really simple style. I don't like to over clutter, I guess, and I think that I just like to have either one big statement piece or a statement pair of earrings or something, and just let them kind of be. You don't have to have a million things on, and it also, I try to make these pieces that tell a story. And so when somebody looks at it, it may be really, really simple. It could be a rabbit laying under a sunflower. But when you see the piece, you either connect it to something that you already had a connection with, a story that you had a connection with, or it makes a little story, a happy story in your mind when you see it. And I think that that's really what I'm trying to do, is evoke some happiness. When you see the piece, you either connect it with something that you already know or see or saw, or you kind of create this little narrative in your mind, and I love that. I love to hear people's narratives when they come into my booth. I love to hear them tell me about their cat that jumps up on the couch and knocks everything over, or all the things that they've come in and told me. It just makes a connection between people, and I love that. Making a piece usually starts with a hike in the woods or just working on our property. My husband and I own 3 acres up the road, or just something that I remember from my childhood. Seeing a caterpillar emerge from a chrysalis, or those kind of things. I hand cut each of my pieces. I use sterling silver. I would like to use gold, but can't afford it at the moment. But sterling really lends itself to what I needed to do. I mean, I live, in I think one of the most beautiful places in the world. And so each day, I actually, the house that we live in now, we have this incredible view. And every morning I get up and I'm just amazed at these views. And I guess that just comes out in my work. It's not intentional, I don't think. I don't go into the studio thinking, well, I'm going to make this thing today exactly. I really just go into the studio with an open mind, and once I start playing with those pieces and kind of looking around at those pieces, those scenes just kind of come out. It's just a natural progression, I guess. So I can really play with what nature's already doing, I can kind of put that in something in solid, and something that's going to be there for years to come, even after I'm gone. God created all these beautiful things around me. Every day I get to experience these beautiful things, but the flowers, if you cut them and bring them inside, they eventually die. But with my work, I'm able to kind of hold those things in time, and so 100 years from now, that little flower that I made will still be blooming. And I think that there's just kind of a quiet peacefulness about that, and just a quiet happiness, that the flowers that you pick, or the, the rabbit that you saw, none of those have to go away. They're always kind of there in their own little story, just kind of happy in their own little place. Hello, I'm Becky Smith with Becky Smith Jewelry. You can find more of my work at www.beckysmithjewelry.com.